Today we make chocolate peanut butter donuts with over 65 grams of protein that you can even eat for breakfast. I will start with a big bowl for the dry ingredients where I will add 60 grams of oat flour. Oat flour can be made at home in a very easy way. All you need is any kind of blender or a food processor, then measure how much oats you will need for the recipe and blend the oats for about 60 seconds until they turn into a fine powder. This is a lot cheaper than buying oat flour from the store. Next is 20 grams of cocoa powder, followed up by 26 grams or 2 servings of powdered peanuts. I use PB2 that you can buy on Amazon. This is basically peanut butter but with most of the fat removed and thus reducing calories and increasing protein. If you can't find this, you can use 20 grams of regular peanut butter. Next is 25 grams of sweetener. I personally use erythritol. I like this way better than stevia that has this bitter aftertaste. Then I will add 30 grams of vanilla protein powder. See, there are two kinds of dairy protein powder. There is whey, that is the common protein everybody uses, and then there is the less known but in my opinion far superior one, casein. What's the difference, you ask? I will show you. In my first bowl I will add 15 grams of whey protein powder with 50 grams of cold water and mix this with a spoon. And as you can see, no matter how long I'm mixing this, it still has this very liquid consistency. Whey can't bind a lot of water, which is the reason people use it for shakes, what made it so popular. But that also means that when you bake this, all the water will evaporate and whatever you are baking becomes dry. Now look at the casein. I will again add 15 grams to a bowl with 50 grams of water, and as I'm mixing this, you will see that this will literally turn into a yogurt. It's super creamy. You cannot drink this in a shake, but if you bake this, it will make every baked good a lot more moist than with whey protein powder because it holds so much water. Now you might ask, okay Felu, but why are you using a blend then and not casein only? Good question. This is a personal preference. Because it binds so much water, casein tends to become very dense and doesn't rise properly. That is why I choose to use a blend of both most of the times to have a moist cake that still rises like a regular cake. So in this case, 15 grams of whey and 15 grams of casein. The last two ingredients are half a teaspoon of baking powder and quarter teaspoon of baking soda. Mix everything and set it aside. Now we will need a second bowl for the wet ingredients. I will add 50 grams of Skyr, you can also use fat-free Greek yogurt. Then I will crack in an egg and 50 grams of egg whites. If you don't want to use egg whites, you can always use one whole egg for 50 grams of egg whites. Lastly, I will add 100 grams of skimmed milk, give everything a stir and then add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. After a few seconds of whisking, the batter should have a creamy consistency like this. If you use casein only, you might need to add a splash of water or otherwise it could become too thick. Now distribute the batter evenly into donut holes. This recipe will make exactly 8 donuts with a diameter of 7 centimeters or 2.7 inches. I will add 2 tablespoons of batter per donut. That is enough to fill all 8. Bake this now in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 F for 12 to 15 minutes. In the meantime, I will prepare frosting, and here's where you can experiment with flavors. I will go with the same ingredients. First 15 grams of Casein Vanilla protein powder, followed up by 5 grams of cocoa powder, then 2 servings or 26 grams of PB2, then optional 50 grams of Skyr or Greek yogurt, and lastly 100 grams of skimmed milk. Mix it until it turned into a kind of Nutella. I love this spread so much and use it for so many things. Please give it a try. So as soon as the donuts are ready, let them cool down for about 10 minutes before removing. And this is how they should look like: brown color with a cakey and soft interior, and honestly, I think they taste great by themselves. But if you dump them into this spread, they will become even better. I mean, look at this creaminess. I will also add some chopped walnuts. This is totally optional. The 8 donuts come in with 689 calories, 58 grams of carbs, 18 grams of fat and 67 grams of protein. The frosting would add another 265 calories and 34 grams of protein. This and 150 more low-calorie, high-protein recipes are in my newly released cookbook that will help you lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life. Finally, a diet that works. From breakfast to lunch to dessert, everything you need is in this book. And the best part is that you buy the book once and get every single recipe update for free. See it as a lifetime investment into your health. Link is in the description.